Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Mentor Monday. Mentor Monday is your weekly microdose of encouragement, inspiration, and miracle grow on your potential as a coach. As we always do, we love to begin right here. So let us know that you're in the room. I'm over here in the studio, so I don't have the pleasure of seeing your face or hearing your voice. But the next best thing is that you interact with us inside of the chat widget. Again, let us know where you're joining us from, what you're excited about, what you feel life and momentum on. We are wrapping up a series tonight called the 5-Minute Makeover. And so I'm excited about what we're talking about tonight. And I'm going to encourage you to go back over the last few weeks if you've missed any of this, because it's actually been a really great, delightful series that I think will really encourage you and it can really help you. So let me say hello to a couple of people who are saying hello to me. I don't know who this is. It just says from Oklahoma and Facebook user. So you're probably in our Power Lunch group watching over there. So if you pop your name in there, that would be great. I don't know what it is about Facebook groups. It won't always, if it's on our public page when you guys are chatting, or if you're in YouTube chatting, it allows us to see your names. But if you're in that Facebook group, even though it's a free group and it's a public group, for whatever reason, there's some kind of a weird permissions thing over there. So it doesn't allow us to see you. Again, let us know that you are here. Come on, you guys. Let me know that you're here. Jump inside of the chat. Just say hello. Tell us where you're joining us from. And we're going to have a good time tonight. And also, any questions or any thoughts or opinions or any hacks that you guys have that you've utilized with your clients, love for you to share those in the comments. Also, what I'm going to do is I am going to throw in a link to a question that we asked a little bit earlier inside of our Power Lunch group. Let me see if I can actually pull that up for you guys really quick. Let's see if I can grab it and see if I can do maybe I can do a share screen in this. I'm not real sure. If I can, I'll try to do it. It doesn't look like it's going to be too simple to do a share screen. So I won't do that. But I'm going to stick the link specifically to that question. If you've got any hacks that you would like to share with the group, I'm throwing it inside the comments right now so that you can do that. Let me say hello to, that's Lisa joining us over there in Oklahoma inside of our group. So cool. Hey, huge reminder, and let me see if I can stick that inside of the inside here. Yes. Our next live coaching boot camp is coming up November 3rd through 5th, and we do have early bird registration right now. The link is inside the description of this video. It's only $195, and you can knock out all of your certification training in a single weekend. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All you got to do at the end of that is turn in your assignments and take your exam, and you are certified as a coach. It is an accelerated weekend. It's pretty intense, but it's worth it for those of you who, you know what, self-paced doesn't really work for you. You have challenge, following through on some of those things. You don't want to do Tuesday night training. Well, the next best thing, or maybe the best thing for you, is just to knock everything out in a single weekend. It's normally $247. I'll speak more about that in just a little bit. Let me say hello to, who else do I need to say hello to? Romaine, who's joining us. Let me say hello to Romaine really quick, who's joining us from DC. Good to see you, Romaine. And yes, there's that post. That's where you can find it. And don't forget to let us know that you're here. Post a hello to us in the chat. So let's jump in, though, with no further delays. So this week we are talking about a 5-minute laser-focused coaching hack. Now, why a 5-minute laser-focused hack? Why do you need a hack when it comes to coaching individuals? Well, I'll give you a few reasons why you want a hack. First of all, because it works phenomenally inside of a complimentary session. I know a lot of you, whoops, I'm going to the wrong camera over here. Now I'm trying to find that camera. Here I am. So I know a lot of you want to offer complimentary sessions, and I've got a lot to say. Remember, we've got several posts in a whole process that I encourage you guys with regard to consultations versus complimentary sessions. I don't have time to go into all of that, but the whole point of a complimentary session, if you want to call it a discovery session or power session or whatever you want to call it, that first session is supposed to demonstrate how coaching can help someone, and it should move them. Whatever that last step is, it should move them from here to here, and it makes it really easy to sign a client. Now, the problem is that a lot of complimentary sessions really aren't that effective. Coach sits there and chats with the client and everything else. It's not, and nothing's actually decided during that session. There's no action that's taken. And at the very least, in a complimentary session, a client should be walking away with a Band-Aid fix for whatever is happening in their life, and they should have real tangible action. And if that's not happening in a complimentary session, then you're wasting your time and you're wasting the client's time. It should be demonstratable that your coaching can actually help them. So we want to use laser-focused coaching for that. Now, this is different than some of you are in our Jumpstart program. One of the things that I give you inside the Jumpstart program is the explosive first coaching session. And it makes a believer out of people, and it knocks their socks off. And so what I'm going to show you today is maybe some of those principles behind really what we would say is a double layer lens to help someone get results. But here's what I want you to understand. A complimentary coaching session, if you have this 5-minute hack that you'll utilize it works phenomenally well in a complimentary session because it demonstrates that you can help people get results fast. That's the first thing that it does. And the second thing that it does is that it leaves the client with a feeling of satisfaction that they connect with you and the coaching process itself. You want to help that client get some kind of a powerful result and feel really, really good about you and feel really, really good about coaching. They want to feel like you didn't just do, because a lot of times when you say complimentary session, it doesn't seem to have any value attached to it. It makes somebody, it's like, oh, do I really want to do this? Is this going to be just kind of like a coffee chat? Are they just going to sell me on something? Like, there's all of these things. They don't know what to expect. But if you can demonstrate that coaching can help them, what will end up happening is that it will be so satisfying that they feel themselves oriented towards their goal and moving forward, that they're going to go away with, not only do I have a positive emotion attached to coaching, but now I have a positive emotion connected to you as a coach. And this is why you want to utilize that hack. The other thing that I would say is that some matters are really pressing for your clients. And so what you need to do is that you need to help the client cut the fog really quickly. Cut through the fog as quickly as you possibly can. And the last thing that I would say about this, and some of you may not realize this as a coach, because there's a lot of coaches who start in coaching and they come from a background, most people are anyway, of working 40-hour work weeks. And so most people don't have a value for their time. And so what most people get paid for is, oh, I worked 40 hours in this business and now I'm going to get a salary drawn from the fact that I put in my hours. So yeah, I used to have a boss that even though he knew we were fake working most of the day, he would say stuff like, well, get your hours in. Well, make sure whatever you do, you get your hours in. What did that mean? It meant that you needed to be present on site for X amount of time to get your full wage. And some of you who are here, if you're honest, you fake work. There's not 8 hours of work to do in a work day. There might be 2 or 3 or maybe 4. Some of you only getting about 1. And what you got to do is that you got to stretch that out, or you got to look busy. My friend always called it fake working. I think it's fake working. And so we're pretending to work, and we're so used to just giving 8 hours away for X amount of dollars that we don't really value it in most cases. Now, when it comes to coaching, there's a bigger value on getting a result. There's a bigger value on helping someone above how much time you're spending with them. I knew a coach charging $1,500 for 15 minutes, and it would be a phone call with them, not some sit down, not some catch up, have a Starbucks, and all of this other stuff that some coaches do because they don't value themselves. And even worse, they don't value the client's time. That you've got 10 minutes to shoot the breeze before for a session, and then you're going to stick around for another 10 or 20 minutes after a session or whatever. That's not valuing your time, and it's also not valuing your client, because we want to be effective. We want to show people that we can actually help them get results really, really quickly. And people will actually appreciate when you honor their time and you're not wasting their time as they're sitting with you. So what we're going to do during this time is that we are going to look at this hack, but first starting, where does the hack come from? Well, there is a simple problem-solving technique that helps people get clarity. And the old school problem technique was always called the 5 whys. And the whole point of the 5 whys is to help someone get clarity really quickly and get to the root of a problem. But we are adapting it. And there's a reason why we're adapting it. Some of you coaches who have been around, when you see the 5 whys, do you know the reason that we are adapting it? You can throw it in the chat. I want to see how many people know. We're calling this technique the 5 whys. What's the reason that we could possibly be adapting even the name of this technique? Does anybody have an idea? Or I know I'm at least 30 seconds ahead of you guys, at least maybe a minute ahead of you, but I want to see if anybody comes up with the answer as to the reason that we are adapting this. Well, no more drama around this. The reason why we're adapting it is that coaches don't use why questions, because why questions cause the client to feel defensive and to feel unsafe. You ever had somebody ask you a why question? Well, why isn't this done? Why don't you have the report? Why, whatever. And anytime someone hears a why question, now they don't feel the opportunity to be honest. They definitely don't feel the opportunity to feel creative. They feel like, I've got to give you the answer that's expected of me. You hear why questions from your mom. You hear why questions from your dad. You hear why questions from your boss. You hear why questions from someone who's in authority or unhappy with you at the moment, right? And so what does that mean? Is that why questions move you, the coach, from being a partner to a superior in the relationship. And it moves you from being supportive of the client to a critic of the client. And so that's why we're going to actually adapt this. Now, what we're going to do is that we are going to, I got the wrong title here. How did I get that in there? Let me pop that past that slide. I don't know how I had last week's slide up there. Here's what we're going to do is that I'm going to show you the hack, and we're going to apply it to the grow model. And for those of you who don't know what the grow model is because you've not been through our training yet, it's actually the most well-known and the most used coaching conversational model that's out there. And GROW is just an acronym. And what does it stand for? Well, G is goal. What are we trying to do in that phase of the coaching session? We are trying to get to the bottom, and we're trying to get clear about what the client wants. We want to make that tangible. We want to make that specific. R is current reality. When we say current reality, in a lot of cases, what people will say is, well, here's where you are right now. Here's where you would like to be in the future. And what is that gap between where you are and where you want to be? Because there's certain aspects here. So that's what current reality is about. O is options. What options actually exist? What have they thought about? And again, it's not your job to come up with ideas. It's not your job to problem solve. We let the client do the heavy lifting. What are they doing? Is that they come up with their own options. What have you thought about? What have you tried? All of those kinds of things. What are we trying to get them to do? Well, in that gap that you see right there, well, there's a lot of different paths probably to get them from here. I can try this way. I can try this way, bicycle or whatever. What are we talking about? We're talking about the different ways by which we could get from point A to point B. That's, again, the client's job. That's what the options phase is all about. W is way forward. And so what are we doing is that we are getting them to commit to one of those options and take a step forward. Now, what happens in most coaching sessions is that a lot of new coaches struggle to get through all these things and get it done in an hour. Sometimes they're not managing their time really well, and the client's not even taking action by the end. And again, if they're fluffy in their approach to coaching someone, which means that they're just kind of showing up and they're shooting the breeze and they're asking a lot of fluffy questions like, how have you been? How are you doing? Then a lot of times what ends up losing is time lost in that session, especially if you only have an hour. That's what you're doing, a 1 hour session. So what ends up happening is that you lose your time that really would have been committed to weighing options and then moving forward. So this hack not only is designed to help you in a complimentary coaching session to demonstrate that coaching can help people, it's also designed to help if somebody's got a short amount of time, or if you want to help them accelerate through different parts. What I'm going to show you is how you use this 5-step, 5-question hack in each one of these stages to move them forward. Again, what are we going to do? Is that we're going to use the 5-step questioning hack in each one of these stages. I'm going to show you how you do it. And really what you could do is you can move these people through in a fraction of the time. Imagine not doing a 1 hour coaching session. What if you started doing a 30-minute coaching session because you utilize this hack so well? And again, your value doesn't come from the time spent. It comes from helping people get results. So let's take a look at this really quick. First of all, let's say that someone comes to you and they say, I want to get in shape. Well, there's a real problem with this goal, right? In fact, there's a lot of problems with this goal. Not the least that it is vague, because it is vague. Think about most people. Most people want to get in shape, don't they? Doesn't everybody have a shape? Everybody has a shape. No one is specific. And one of the reasons why people don't get in shape is because they're not specific about it. They'll say, I want to get in shape. Well, what does that look like? Does that look like abs? Does it look like weight loss? Does it look like, does it look like fat reduction? Does it look like a pant size? I don't know. Shirt size? I don't know what any of that means. Does it mean putting on muscle? Does it actually mean gaining weight? Because sometimes there's people who are just like, they're super skinny and they want to put on weight and they want to figure out, well, how do I deal with my metabolism and I can put on some muscle or whatever. Well, we got to determine what does that actually mean. And so what I'm going to show you is the 5-question hack that does this really quickly to help somebody get really clear about what their goal is. Watch the 5 questions and watch how specific it allows the conversation to get. Sorry that this is a little bit small in terms of the text. Just look really closely and then you can see it. First question, what does getting in shape mean to you? Because it's super important that we get on the same page of clarity of what does it mean to the client. Doesn't matter what it means to you. It's about what it means to the client. Because again, this is vague. Well, the client then gives a definition of that. It means having more energy and feeling confident in my appearance. Well, that's a lot better than getting in shape. But what the point of the technique is in this hack is to keep going deeper. Let's cut down. Let's get to the root of that and let's get a clearer picture. So then we ask a second question. Okay, that was pretty good. Let's ask a second question. How would achieving that definition of getting in shape benefit you? And so the client responds then. It would improve my overall well-being and self-esteem. So see, now we understand that the goal was never to get in shape. Does everybody understand that? This is what this technique is allowing us to do. The goal here, I want to say this again. The goal is not to get in shape. The goal, actually, when we look at this again, the goal, what you're going to see, is not simply having more energy and feeling confident. More specifically, what we're finding out is the goal is about overall well-being and self-esteem. But let's go on to the third question, because again, we're digging down to the root. We're getting to the foundation, and we're going to get clarity. What aspects of your life or health would be positively impacted by these benefits? And then we get them to respond. And they'll say, my physical health, my mental health, my social life. Okay, but let's go farther. Let's go on a fourth question about their goal. What specific actions can you take to improve those aspects of your life or health? And they say, I can start by incorporating regular exercise and adopting a healthier lifestyle. Now let's get to the fifth one. The fifth one. How do these actions align with your values or long-term aspirations? And so then the client says, well, I want to pursue better physical and mental health, and it aligns with my goal of leading a fulfilling and confident life. Now, did they say that at the very beginning? No, they didn't say it. They said, I want to get in shape. This is actually pretty solid. I want to have more energy and feeling confident, but there's got to be something more. See, when we get to this fifth one, and I teach this in advanced skills training, if I can align someone's values, what's most important to their goal, I've got a commitment out of that. Because what happens is that if your goals do not match what is most important to you, your values in your life, you will still be unfulfilled. So this is what this asking the question and getting them to unpack it gets us to bedrock. It gets us to the bottom so that we not only have a clearer picture of what this looks like, then now we have some more commitment that's made around it, because now we're talking about values. Now, one of the things that I will say in terms of setting a SMART goal, this is not a SMART goal yet, then this actually looks like something. It looks like weight loss. It looks like putting on muscle. It looks like a lot of different things. So right now, I just want to caution you, we don't have a SMART goal, but this is a session utilizing the GROW model. And all I'm trying to do is show you how we can ask a handful of questions and get a clearer answer and move them forward in lightning speed. Now, let's look at current reality for a second. Current reality, again, is where they are. Just remind you of what that is. It's where they are now in relation to the goal that they want to achieve. So we're going to find out where this is. This is what we want to determine, right? So as we're doing that, here's how we would ask some of these questions. Where are we starting? What is our starting place? How would you describe your current fitness level or state? I'm currently overweight and I have fatigue. That's where they're starting. That's a starting point right there. Okay, but that's still pretty vague. Let's see if we can get a little more detail. 2, what led you to your current fitness level or state? What are we finding out? We're finding out about decisions. We're finding out about lenses. We're finding out about how they see themselves, all kinds of different things in that question. And so they're going to tell you what they believe. Again, this is their perception. I sit all day at work and I have poor eating habits. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. Third layer of this question. What habits or routines have influenced your current fitness level or state? See how we're getting a lot more than A lot of coaches would have just stopped at one. Find out where they are right now and let's just kind of move on. But let's get more details. I rarely exercise and I eat too much McDonald's. Now we know what's going on, where they are, how they see it, all those things. Let's go to 4 though. 4. What challenges or obstacles have you faced in maintaining those habits or routines? And we find out a little bit more. I have a lack of motivation. I have a busy schedule. I have stress. What are we finding out? We are finding out really, really clearly where they have been, but we're also discovering what the obstacles are and what's actually kept them from moving forward up to now, at least as in the way that they see it. Now, question 5 is this. What can you do to address those challenges and move closer to your goal of getting in shape? See, we start moving them to the next stage, which is going to be options. I can start by finding a workout routine that I enjoy and making small gradual changes to my diet. Additionally, I can work on time management to fit exercise into my schedule and implement stress management techniques. But the reality is that we don't have a commitment from this client yet. It's just at the very beginning. We move on to O, and now where are we at in this picture? Well, again, we're talking about where this person is now, where they would like to be is where we were before, right? So what are we trying to figure out now? We've got a gap. And what are the ways that they can move from point A to point B? And there can be a lot of different ways to get us there. You know, could be a straight line. It could be a path like this. We don't know. But what have they thought about? What have they considered? And what have they truly tried? So, 1, what are the different ways you could reach your goal? See that? Plain, open question. And then they come up with those things. The gym, doing home workouts, joining a sports team, a personal trainer. Okay, that's not bad. 2, because we got to get them moving forward. I want us to really consider this. Tell me how they differ from one another. Well, the gym has equipment and classes while home workouts offer convenience. A sports team can make exercise more enjoyable, and a personal trainer could keep me accountable. So see, they're telling us information here. We start finding out what their belief systems are, right? So home, so they seem to like convenience. We're seeing some of this stuff. See, they're looking for something that they like. And they're already admitting with this, oh, I'm having accountability issues and stuff like that. So you can start uncovering this, that if they're saying something about accountability and they like convenience, so I don't like to be inconvenienced. I'm possibly having accountability issues. I don't find working out very enjoyable. I find sports enjoyable. So we're learning information about this as we ask questions by getting them to talk about how they're different. Question 3, though, what kind of support? Why would we ask a question like that? Well, because they're talking about accountability and in those kinds of things anyway. For the gym, a membership and workout clothes, all I need. Home workouts may require fitness equipment. Joining a sports team means time for practices. Remember, they talked about time before. Personal trainer would require a budget for their services. Okay, well, let's move them to 4. What are the pros and cons of each? And now we're going to find out how they see it in terms of obstacles, because what are we trying to do? Clarity means in choosing an option that I need to help them confront the obstacles. I'm looking for faith. I'm looking for belief in a path forward. Now, any of these things can get them, we probably all agree, get them from point A to point B, wouldn't they? They can all get someone from point A to point B. Home workouts can do it. Going to the gym can do it. A personal trainer can do it. And a sports team. Every one of those things can do it. But we need to understand more about the client, because the client is already telling us, I got accountability issues. I've got time issues. I don't like to be inconvenienced. I find exercise not really that fun. These are the things that we can kind of are really great indicators. So what they're telling us even right here are some of the obstacles that we see right here. Going to the gym is effective, but we're finding out the truth now. Because you could tell earlier they mentioned the gym, but there's something that they didn't like. I hate crowds. Home workouts are convenient, but I might lack motivation. Remember, we were saying that about accountability? Sports teams require a time commitment. See, because there's going to be pain and there's going to be difficulty, from them to move from point A to point B. It's all about what do they believe and what are they committed to in going forward. And a personal trainer is pricey. So even though they like accountability, they don't like the price, right? So now we go on to 5 and look at what this question does. Which one of these options align with your preferences, lifestyle, and available resources? Because what are we doing? Hey, you talked about the pain of price. You've talked about your lifestyle and what you enjoy. Now we're getting to preferences, because what are we doing? Hey, we've got to go from point A to point B. What's it going to take? And so then they say, considering my busy schedule, home workouts or joining a sports team might be more aligned with my lifestyle and preferences. They are also more budget friendly than a personal trainer. So you know what we did is that we killed the personal trainer. And you know what else that we did? We killed the gym. So now we've narrowed the options. This is either going to turn out to be home workouts or joining a sports team. Now, we get to way forward. Back to our picture a while ago. Here's where they are now. Here's who they are in the future. So we've moved them. Remember in the very beginning, we found out what this was. So this is what G did. Our current reality is where they are right now. Current reality. Options is this. Now, way forward is all about which path are you going to take? Which option is going to take you from point A to point B? Let's look at how we do that. Question 1. What motivates you to select this particular option? Well, I've always enjoyed, remember they said that a little bit earlier. I've always enjoyed team sports. And it's a way for me to stay active while having fun. So remember their preferences. Seems like pleasure because they find workout unpleasurable. What did they say as well? They talked about accountability. They talked about time. They talked about stress, all these different things earlier. Okay, let's keep going though. Question 2. How does this option align with your goals and values? Bringing us all the way back to goal all over again. It aligns with my goal of getting in shape by making exercise enjoyable and my value of social interaction. There you go. Now we're getting them aligned to what's most important. 3, what steps can you take to make this option more achievable and effective? I can commit to attending team practices regularly, maintain good sportsmanship, and set specific fitness goals within the team context. Now they've got the layer of what? Accountability, because what are they doing? They are now in a team. Now we're dealing with someone who's not alone anymore, and the team is going to help determine what they do. Because if you don't show up for practice, you let down the team. Now we've got a positive motivator because the team is going to encourage, it's going to be pleasurable, social interaction. But what is the team also going to do? It's going to hold them accountable, because if you no show on practice, we lose. See, it's different when I don't go to the gym. This is why home gym won't work. If I don't go in my garage and lift stuff, it's not going to hurt anybody's feelings. Nobody's going to call me up and harass me over it. That's why this person doesn't need that, because we learn this in the process. You know what else doesn't work? If I don't go to the gym's not going to miss me. They're just going to take my $49 a month or $20 a month or $10 a month or whatever. They're not going to miss me. Nobody's going to call me and say, hey, I haven't seen you in the gym in the last couple of weeks. Now, your personal trainer would, but somebody be like, well, I just don't feel like paying for this to begin with. Okay. But see, all of these things are going to bring all of this stuff together. Now, that's just question 3. Question 4, because we are laser focused on where we want to bring them. What support or resources will you need to succeed with this option? I may need to invest in sports equipment, ensure I have enough time, because again, time in my schedule for practices and games. And number 5, by joining the sports team, because how does committing to this option empower you to take control of your fitness journey? By joining the sports team, I'm taking an active step towards my fitness goal in a way that resonates with my interests. Again, values. Let me see if I can write it here. Values, the things that are most important. The commitment empowers me to be on my fitness journey while having fun and being part of a team. This is what laser focus does. Laser focus cuts out the fluff, helps them get really clear, but it's not asking tons and tons of questions. Again, what all of these are very simple questions. It's helping them explore, but it's moving them forward in the journey, knowing what you're trying to accomplish in the grow model in each stage, in the goal stage, in current reality, in options, and way forward. Always knowing that there's an objective to the G part, goal. The objective, clear goal that's aligned with their values, and it's a really clear picture of what they actually want. Or let me see how they see, and let me have a common understanding of how they see what current reality is. Where are they in relation to their goal? How are they sizing up? How do they see themselves, the world, the circumstances, all of those things? It's setting a baseline. Oh, what are the things that you have thought about doing, and how do those options relate all the way back of what we learned in the G stage? What are their values? What matters most? All of those things, because they need to come into alignment. Because listen, if I can align the options that they're choosing with things that they believe in, but is also connected to what they value most, I've got a great opportunity that, great possibility that they're going to follow through. And W is getting them to commit to what they believe in most. What option seems the best, and how does it align to everything? This is what the hack of laser focus coaching actually looks like. Now, on November 3rd through 5th, we're having our next live weekend coaching boot camp. What are we doing? You knock all of your training out in a single weekend. Then you just take the exam and turn in your assignments, and you're done in a single weekend. Well, what's actually included? Well, there's 7 powerful weekend sessions. Session 1 is Foundations of Coaching. Session 2 is the Anatomy of a Dynamic Coaching session. Session 3 is How to Help Your Clients Get Extraordinary Results. 4 and 5 are How to Listen on a Transformational Level. 6, How to Ask Powerful Questions. 7, How to Establish a Growing Coaching Practice. And these sessions include live coaching demos, as well as live Q&A. So you'll get to see coaching demonstrated. You'll get to participate in it as a coach or a client. That's what we do during that weekend. What all else is included? Well, you're going to get 7 live sessions with live Q&As and role playing. You're also going to get a lot of coaching tools. You're going to get a coaching starter pack that has all of your documents already made for you. You can just change the branding on it, all the coaching agreement stuff, invoices, intake, all of those things. We give you all of those samples, and they're actually ready to go, editable templates inside of Canva. You're also going to get your life coach certification. Yes, you will get a certificate, and you're going to get HD replays as well as handouts from the entire weekend, and you get free audits for life. Now, the cost is only $247, and the price tag on this is, we generally say, is $3,500, but we're going to allow you, if you'll jump on it today, you can get this for $195. Why is it so ugly? There's an ugly yellow that I'm using there. Did I just accidentally go for highlighter ink as opposed to, that's what I did. I went highlighter instead of that. So it's $195 early bird rate, and just click the link inside of the video description and you can get enrolled. And I would highly encourage you to get enrolled and don't waste any more time. If you can do this at the beginning of November, you can have your coaching practice up and going for January 1. What is January 1? Well, it's a booming month for coaches because everybody's thinking about changing their life. So if you're going to do this thing and pull the trigger on it, if you can get this weekend knocked out, then get your business and everything in order, you need all of December to ramp up promotion. You'll actually need the second half of November, and you'll need December to ramp up what you want to happen for January. And then you're going to hit momentum, and you're going to be able to take on clients in January, and it will be amazing. Oh, there's Pat joining us from Oregon. How's it going, Pat? Very cool. Does anyone have any questions? We did a lot of work tonight. It was less motivational, and it was more training that we normally do. But I wanted to round out this series with something that is practical for you. Also, what we're going to do tomorrow in Tuesday night training. So those of you who are already part of boot camp or you're part of the life coach certification course, is that we're going to do a little bit more detailed work inside of looking at the lenses of the grow model. And we may actually do a special because it's a different workshop night than a regular training week. It's very possible that if you guys want to, you can join us tomorrow night, even for that, but it won't be on here. It'll only be through Zoom. If you're interested in that, hit us an email, get enrolled actually tonight, and you can join us tomorrow. So cool. Well, listen, everybody, I appreciate you guys all immensely. Have a great rest of your week and take care.